SeaWorld San Diego is an interesting park in an interesting position. SeaWorld currently owns and operates 5 major theme parks, including the two Busch Gardens parks and the Holy Grail SeaWorld Orlando. The folks over at SeaWorld sometimes forget that they also operate a park in San Antonio and, of course, San Diego. SeaWorld San Antonio is a decent park with a decent lineup, headed up by the new Texas Stingray. But I have not been, so I don't have much to say about it. Anyway, next week I'll be heading down south to San Diego to visit SeaWorld for the first time, and I'll tag on the Giant Dipper at Belmont Park the night before. SeaWorld San Diego finally got a major new addition with the dive coaster, Emperor, along with a decent collection of other rides they've been building up over the past few years that include Electric Eel, Tidal Twister, Manta, and Journey to Atlantis. This lineup is decent and seems to be getting stronger every year. But when compared to other SeaWorld parks, it begs the question, why aren't there more roller coasters? So in today's video, I'll do my best to try to answer this question, and I'll make some predictions as to what their next major roller coaster may be. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. And as always, this is a question video, and I can only speculate. So if you have more information on this topic than I do, please don't hesitate to share in the comments. Let's dive in. No pun intended. As I kinda mentioned in the intro, this is a two-part video. First, I will discuss why SeaWorld San Diego doesn't have as many roller coasters as the other SeaWorld parks, and second, I will speculate what new roller coasters they will add next. SeaWorld San Diego has a decent lineup, with parks like Orlando having hyper coasters and massive loopers. Clearly something is up. The first thing I can verify 100% is that this park has a 150-foot height limit. This limits them to anything under 150 feet. So that means no hyper and no other tall roller coasters. But this alone should not limit them too much. There are plenty of awesome coasters below 150 feet. So what else? The park is surrounded by a residential area, so nothing can be crazy loud. But again, we've seen this with other parks in this situation, like Knott's, adding awesome coasters. Now we get into the territory where I cannot fully verify the information I'm giving is completely true. Again, if anything is wrong, please let me know in the comments. Rumor has it that the park actually had a tough time installing Manta, which is a 30-foot mock family launch coaster. It was difficult getting the permits to build a structure this tall because it could obstruct the view of the sky in surrounding neighborhoods. I'm getting into another rumor now, but did you notice how all of their coasters are blue? Well, you may think it's because of the ocean theme, and it works pretty well for that, but it's actually so the coasters blend into the sky. This is the only way the park can get even anything under 150 feet approved by the city council. They're in a neighborhood. They have a 150-foot height limit. The coasters have to blend into the sky. It's a challenge to get anything approved over 30 feet. Even with all of these constraints, the park could still have a better lineup. So what really does it? I think, if true, this last reason is the root cause of the park's lack of roller coasters. Rumor has it that the park has some kind of tax status with either the state or the city and the role of saving animals and educating children about sea life. And in order to keep this, they must have a specific ratio of animals to thrill rides. Again, I don't know if this is true, but it makes a lot of sense. If SeaWorld wants to add a new coaster, then they also have to add more animals or take out another ride, which costs money and is a big headache. Otherwise, they'll end up paying a pretty penny in taxes in addition to the new coaster. I think, combined, all these reasons paint a pretty good picture as to why San Diego has less coasters than the other SeaWorld parks. So now it's speculation time. Where does the park go from here? Again, I'll divide this section into two parts. First, what is the perfect fit? And second, what will the park actually add? I think a lot of coasters would make a great fit here, primarily because they lack many ride types. A wooden coaster would make a lot of sense, especially considering that SeaWorld works well with GCI. But the Giant Dipper is only a few minutes away. The park already has launch coasters and inversions that are really missing airtime. I would love to see a Chance Hyper GTX come to San Diego. This is an airtime machine and stays pretty low to the ground, and it doesn't really break the bank. I think it's perfect. Another great option would be some kind of intimate mini hyper. We know SeaWorld works well with Intamin, and this would be a fantastic fit. Imagine something like Expedition G-Force. That would be insane. They are also missing a coaster that doesn't ride directly on the track, so an invert would also be a great fit, or maybe a wing. Anyway, now let's move on from my wish list to genuine predictions. What do I really think the park will add next? To be honest, I don't see them adding anything major for at least a little bit. But hey, you never know with SeaWorld. For some reason, I feel a deep, dark horror that it will be a family coaster. I really have no idea what it would be, but they seem to be so much focused on thrill rides recently that make a lot of sense for them to switch back. Let's say it's a thrill ride. This is really tough to say. My thrill coaster prediction is a wing coaster. This would make me kind of sad, but it has great capacity and looks insane, and it's a proven model, so it makes sense. Combining the thrill and family gives me my final prediction, the overall. I'm predicting a mid-sized family GCI like InvadR. This overall makes a ton of sense because SeaWorld and GCI have been working together a lot and would function as an intermediate ride between Manta and Emperor. My only concern is that the Big Dipper is nearby, but they can make this a few feet taller and market it as the tallest wooden coaster in San Diego. Anyway, what do you think they will add next, and what is your dream addition? Please let me know in the comments, and as always, thanks for clicking on this video, and if you're still here, please consider clicking the like and subscribe button because it really helps support the channel. See you guys in the next video.